I'm excited to share an update on my Laurel Denise planner that I've now had for 2 months. And I'm going to share with you the things I really love about it, things I may change, and just how it's going and how it's working for me. I have for you a link below for my first video where I was introduced to this planner online. You can see that whole video and the process I went through, going through trying to decide where things go, and also what went into making the decision to go with this planner. So once again, that link is below if you want to see that video. But this is going to be all about me being in this planner for 2 months now, going into the 3rd month, and what I have to say, what I love about it. I'm going to start. These are my 2 main components I use all the time. We'll get into those in a minute. But here is the cover, Laurel Denise Planner. I'm still loving the design. I'm loving the colors. I'm loving the coils, everything, the spiral. Everything is still working for me as far as design and just the aesthetic. Loving it. Okay, so let's just jump right in and let me share with you one of the biggest things I have discovered, and it was actually because of this planner that I have realized Post-it notes are now my new favorite thing. I didn't even realize how much of a tool they would be complementing my planner, and have changed so many aspects of productivity, planning, and just, I'm going to share that with you. Okay, so what you're seeing over here, now this is the pocket. I have covered it up with Post-it notes because I was in the middle of an event where I was going to be making a lot of food, and the event called for a lot of appetizers. And so one of the things I do and have recently discovered is Post-it notes are so good, not just on what am I going to make, you know, what items. This says Greek feta lamb meatballs. They were so good, by the way. But I had all these recipes, all these ideas. And what I did with the sticky notes is I put them on the entertainment ware. So basically I had to figure out what was I going to serve this in. And I went around my kitchen island, put all the dishes and all of the platters, everything I needed, and assigned everything. So I knew if I was missing anything, or, you know, just having everything I needed. But this was so great because it's almost like a vision board, because I have to see things. That is the biggest thing for me, is if I don't see it, I forget it. I must have these appetizers in like so many lists, but the whole point is movable, right? I can move this onto days of the week and the month of the planner, but I can also move it to where I was in the kitchen, and then back here, kind of that vision board, so it's just in front of me over and over again, and I would put the items I needed to purchase. Anyway, I feel like this, since this was a one-time event, right, and it's already passed, I feel like this will just be kind of this landing page. You know, the first thing you see is kind of, like I said, a vision board, like what I'm currently working on that I need to see right in my face. I don't think I'll be using that pocket. There's another one in the back. I'll probably use that one instead if I need a pocket. Haven't found I needed that yet, but so far, Post-it notes have been the biggest thing that has just improved productivity and just the planning in itself, with just having that adaptability, which is what the planner is really all about too. One of the other things that Post-it notes, why Laurel Denise, it started with, if you remember from my first video, is the Post-it notes to determine where everything goes. So that I'm still learning where everything is still going, but 90% I would say of this planner has a home. Let's talk about these pages. Now we might as well talk about our pencil. Okay. I have put everything in pencil, and that's probably why you know, seeing things very faintly. There's not a lot of prettiness going on. I think I might have a commitment issue, and that's why I go with pencil. And also design, prettiness, which is so funny because I'm a creator, but I'm a creative person, but my planner is the other part of my brain. It's the logical, it's the organizational, analytical, and that's why this is not about prettiness. This is about getting things done for me. And so it really makes sense why I would use pencil and not really get into pretty. However, I believe that's going to change. Okay, so here's what we have as our holidays, and what I use these blocks of the months I'm using them for two things. One, I'm using them for vacation days at work. So I square around my vacation days and put a little V. And then I put a little number. So basically I'm trying to track how many vacation days I'm going to take without maxing out. So I'm planning my whole year, making sure, you know, based on what's coming up, like I have a trip with a friend in June. So I got to make sure I have enough days there. I usually like to take a week off in October. For some reason, that seems to be like a good creative month for me. This has been very helpful for that, to plan out the days, put the numbers here, and then I have those things to remember, and then goals. And then over here, I did put on the holidays, if you could see that, on the holidays, I did say which days we have off from work. So I put that there. My yearly goals, it does say special dates and events, but I am calling this my yearly goals. So I put everything I'd like to get done for the year. These are more like creative things. These are more like maybe, you know, setting things up with YouTube and getting some projects done. And what I do is I put the month. I put on the side next to that item, that goal, I put what month. Because when I look at a list, a lot of times it can get overwhelming by itself. But when I start to kind of map out, then it feels like, you know, you're breaking it down. And for me, that just seems more achievable when I do it that way. All right. So this, I will say, working very well. I really gave it a purpose, and the purpose is working perfectly. Okay, let's just kind of review kind of what I've done regarding the inserts and for January and February. January, I did fill it in for the holidays, the events, all my little different events. I do put that on the calendar. So the calendar is working. I do have a lot of that digitally, but when I'm looking at everything together, it's super helpful to have them here. Okay, weekly, loving this, but I didn't get started that first week of January. Oh, that's because I didn't have the planner yet. This is when I started, and you can see I really started time blocking and using it for work. I did kind of taper off a little bit as the weeks went on. That usually means I was probably doing the same thing every day, and there weren't very specifics I was doing in that week. It comes and goes, but I do love the vertical format. What else I really like that's working well for me are the top three priorities for that day. So see here, the top three priorities of the day, and I love that. I love having those top three, and I love that they're crossed off, means it's working. Okay, so the week's perfect. Habit tracker, I'm still getting used to, and I don't think it's because of the planner. I think it's more because of me and my personal habits. I fail a little bit when it comes to doing something every single day. What I did realize, and it wasn't until February, we might as well jump ahead. I did leave those Post-it notes. This goes back to that first video of what I was going to track here. And then this, I was still trying to, you know, marinate on an idea. What was I going to do for this section? Was it going to be brain dump? And I didn't land on anything until February. You can tell I really got into it in February. I really started filling out the events more, my top threes. I really started getting into those threes and the to-do this week. Did that a lot. And then just recently, I discovered a few things about this entire section. I discovered, once again, I'm not really consistent with achieving things every single day. I did realize that sometimes I don't need to do them every day. So like my videos for YouTube, I don't do that every day. So one thing I started to wish and identified was that for my habits, a lot of times I want to identify the quantity, not so much a yes, no in the date. Right? I want to actually put a number, pounds, could be ounces, it could be the type of video format I achieved, whether it's a long video, a medium video, or a short video. I mean, different things like that. I just felt like there was some sort of quantifiable habit that I wanted to track per day. So I realized that's why this wasn't maybe working as much, because it wasn't as specific as I needed it. So I literally just did this because as I was making this video, that came to me, and I just quickly drew this out because I think this is more of what I'm looking for. I was tracking that on the month here, but I didn't love that. I needed that space to really be for events, and I thought this would be better for tracking those per day. What I did recently was I also needed a place and decided to commit here because this is the reflection of the month. These are the achieved things I've done. And it's not so much that I actually like achieved a project or a big thing. It's more about like the highlights, if you will. Maybe that's what I should call it, the highlights of the month. And that could be even things like Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Like that was a highlight. And if I want to refer back to this, let's say in February of 25, I want to go, what did I do in 24? And I can quickly see a running list. I will probably do that each month. I really like that. Okay, to do this month, something I do is I write out everything I want to do, and then sometimes I get overwhelmed. Sometimes I see the running list and I think, wow, that's a lot to do. So what helps me, kind of like what I did with the yearly goals, is with the monthly, I break it down by week. And actually how I do that is I put the day of the starting Monday. So for February, that'd be 5, 12, 19, and 26, the starting Monday of each week. And then I put in here, and most of them are circled in because I achieved it, but you can see here like a 26 with a circle around it, because that means that's actually what I should be achieving, the 26th, that week of February. So I broke it down, and then I can see, okay, if everything's on the 26th, well, that's not gonna work. I got to move things around. And if it wasn't working, then those things, some of them needed to shift to the next month. It's a great way for me to really make sure I'm being realistic and making sure things are mapped out accordingly. I love this little thing. I mean, it's simple. You know, you could do 1, 2, 3, 4 for the weeks. But it just seems to work for me because the date, and when I see that quickly, I know, oh gosh, that's the week of the 26th, and that's the last week, and I'm working on those things. So I am ready, and if you could see here, to dabble into a little bit of color and start using erasable pens. I do realize as I was sharing on this video and just looking at it myself, it looks dull, right? I know, because everything's in pencil, nothing stands out. I also didn't want the creative part to be another thing on the list. I didn't want to get lost in actually making a planner another creative art. I have so many ways to be creative that I really wanted this to stay in the lane of productivity. So, but I do notice it has no life. It is pretty dull. So I am starting to have things that pop out. I am thinking about different colors. And I'm going to go ahead and use that erasable pen. I do have these Frixion. I used to have a Rocket Book, so that's why I had these erasable pens. I am going to start erasing and see how it does regarding smearing and seeing how that holds up. So I am looking into, yes, adding more color and committing a little more to the design and the creative aspects of the planner. I know something I'm going to continue is my obsession with sticky notes, and Laurel Denise is going to help with that addiction because she is coming out with her own sticky notes, this size, perfect for your planner, and she's going to have 4 categories of those. They're going to come in week of, delegated, follow-up, and brainstorming. Those will be the titles on top. Those lines will be horizontal here on some of those. It will be so awesome to use in your planner. It's the best of both worlds. You have a sticky note and a running list, which will be great in these planners. I'm so excited for that. That is on Wednesday, March 6th. Those will be available. She also is launching on that same date some other planners, mini planners. There will be some additional things. You have to check it out. March 6th is the date of all those items that will be launched. And in addition to that, because I love her planners so much and believe in them, I have decided to affiliate myself and be an affiliate partner with Laurel Denise. And now I have my own code, 10% off. The code is Danielle10. All caps, that will get you 10% off. If you use my link that is in the description box below, that will also give me the credit of being an affiliate. So please try to use that link if you can, and that 10% off code is for you for any time. You can use it again and again. I have it on the screen here for you, Danielle10. All right, super. That is super exciting. I was glad to share that with you. It's perfect timing for her launch on March 6th with the new products, the new sticky notes. So cool. I hope you take advantage of that. I know I will, and I'll be buying those. You'll see them in my next update. So let's continue. Have I done anything back here? Okay, I think I mentioned this in my previous video, how I was going to use these back sheets. And the one I said I was going to do, I actually am doing, and that's the video ideas to record or complete. And then I started realizing, you know what? Instead of just having this list, you should have them on sticky notes. And I am looking to get, because I was just using these I had left over at home, I am looking to get the little ones, and I'm going to get them from Laurel Denise, of course. She still has those in stock. They have the variety pack, and the little ones are going to be great. So that's going to be another great way to use and be productive with sticky notes. Okay. I did not do the meal plan ideas. I have not done my schedule template. Just haven't needed that yet. These are still blank. And then this area here is also pretty much blank. This is where it's books I'm reading, things I'm listening to, happy moments. That kind of goes along with what I'm doing, like the highlights per month. But I'm just not using that here. I think it feels too detached from the current month. It's not something I see. And I'm not sure if these are as applicable, but I love that I have an option here. If I want to, I can put a sticky note here. If I want to, I can just put a little washi tape with a different title. Got options. I love that I have options. So that, I believe, is everything. Not using this, but it does bring up a good point. I don't have any other papers or anything else outside of the planner. I mean, like I mentioned, I do have digital. And when I did have that event for the entertainment, I did have a list of everything I had to do that day, but that was going to be a one-time list. Like I was only doing it for that one event, and then it would get tossed. It wasn't something I would refer to again and again. This, though, anything I need, it's all here. I don't have anything, no calendars that I used to have. I used to have like 3 months at a time. I don't have that. I don't have any other running to-do lists. I really don't have anything outside of this planner. I just haven't felt the need. And that tells me that this planner is really working for my lifestyle. It's really working for how I think. It's really working for what I do day to day. And it's got all the places, and I think with the sticky notes in this, and I'll start elevating into more of the creative. I may even dabble in some stickers. We'll see. Not getting there yet. Looking forward to that month. Habits, making those quantifiable habits, and also continuing the highlights of the month. Everything else is working really well. I wouldn't change anything. I think with the additions of what I'm using, everything is working beautifully. This is just 2 months in. I look at this every single day. I highly recommend it. That's once again why I partnered with them, because I believe in this planner so much. Love it so much. And I will continue to give updates as I do more and more. Definitely enjoying this and love sharing these planners for the way you think. To be sure to see other videos like this and see the updates, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.